Yeah, people was taking it up to their door and stuff on the video. So this is the apartments that it's going to. Pretty nice. And then he just puts it in front of their door. And sometimes, like, DoorDash will ask you to take a photo or take a photo of the receipt, that kind of stuff. I can't show you Chad because it has the address in it, and I don't feel like having to blur it out and all that stuff. But he's taking it up there. Also, let's see, Chad used to live in Huntington, and he did janitorial work when he was like in his early 1920s while he was going to Marshall, and he cleaned offices and things like that. There's all kinds of fun stuff that fun jobs that you can do when you're a college student. Okay, there comes Chad. And then we have these bags in the back, like the DoorDash. Every time we go to like Pizza Hut or Papa John's, they give you like a pizza bag. So Chad has like, how many bags do you have now? Like 5?
Yeah,
5 bags, and then we have the regular stand-up ones that you can keep the food hot in. So that's pretty nice. And they're like insulated so that it keeps the food nice and warm. So how was that delivery, bud?
Simple. It was the bottom floor.
Bottom floor? Not bad. So how much did that make you?
That was $7 for what?
Because we're
10 minutes.
Yeah, we're like right here in town. So we get a lot of, when we're down here, if we do it near our home, sometimes we get bigger orders. So we'll get, the highest one Chad's got, I think was like, ended up being like $24.
I think.
$24 because he got a tip. The guy gave him like a $10 tip, which was cool.
I think that was without the tip, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, you got.
It wasn't a tip. It wasn't a tip where he actually gave cash or anything later, so he must have just put it in the app if he tipped.
No, I'm talking about the one. It was $14 from Outback, and then he gave you a $10 tip.
Oh, yeah. Those happen occasionally.
Yeah. So sometimes you get a good tip, which is nice. Sometimes you get people that just want to be nice and give you extra. You know, it's pretty cool. Every now and then you'll get somebody that don't tip at all, and we just don't accept those if it's not $1 or more. Because I mean, you know, we're taking.
Our rule is, it tells you beforehand. So our rule is at least $1 per mile, because it'll tell you the guaranteed dollar amount.
Yeah. And
right under it, it'll tell you how many total miles it's supposed to be between where you are to the restaurant to the customer.
Yeah.
So that's not a round trip. That's just from where you are to the restaurant to the customer.
Yeah, as you all can tell, Chad is a information buff. Like, he knows everything about Huntington. He knows all the ins and outs of the streets, the alleys, sorry, this is a really bumpy road. We're on in an alley.
But I would suggest, what she's saying is, if you want to DoorDash,
you need to know
you need to know your area.
Yeah, well, somebody's driving like a maniac.
Blow her up, son.
And one good thing,
you could hear the truck. It sounded like he was going to blow a head gasket.
It's almost like he don't have a muffler. One other thing I was going to say was, you know, you might think that you can go ahead and take somebody, like your husband's phone or whatever, but it'll ask for your face sometimes, or, you know, take a picture of your face just to verify that it's you, especially if you're using, like, say, because Chad's phone sucks, so he has to use my phone when he DoorDashes, and so it will want, yeah, he doesn't have good service. His data doesn't last long or whatever, so he has to use mine. And what we have to do is switch phones, and then if we don't, like, if I was, say me and Emily just wanted to go DoorDash, we can't do that because it'll ask occasionally for, like, your face, or for you to put in a special ID or something, you know. So
husband, wife couples or partners, make sure that if you both want to DoorDash when the other one's not with you,
just do your own.
You both have to have your own account.
Yeah. Oh, here's Fat Patty's. This is a good place. If you can see it, local. There's one up by the mall too, or Huntington Mall.
It started here on Marshall campus, right off of Marshall campus.
This is the Marshall building where the basketball games are. And there's the Marshall Bridge. Like here's a parking garage. Nothing exciting about that.
On it, from the parking garage to the.
And then look, there's the Robert C. Byrd Biotechnology Center is coming up. Pretty interesting. A cool bridge that goes across. It's an inside bridge. Oh, there's a thing, Chad. $7.25 at Chipotle.
It's 7 miles total,
so it's worth it. So that's
probably. What I'm going to try to do is, instead of having to go all the way around. Come on now, cut me off, sir.
So there's the Robert C. Byrd tunnel that I was talking about.
I'm going to try to take some back road here if it's available.
Sorry about that.
Campus, if they don't have, some of the barriers put up.
Yeah, looks like this one's blocked off.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep, he's going to turn around. See, that's why it's important to know where you're going.
A lot of people playing disc golf on campus, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me back up. Because I'm too close to this. Okay. There's people out there playing
disc golf.
Disc golf, which I've never played. How do you play that, Chad?
It's a frisbee, kind of a specialized frisbee.
Yeah.
And they set up these barrel type of things that have chains on them, almost like an old school basketball. You know, they talk about the chains on the basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Some people might be old heads, remember that. But,
I do.
anyhow,
like at the schools usually.
So it clanks whenever you you have a starting point. So many, those of you who are into golf, it's a par course. Like it'll be 3 par for this particular hole or this particular goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the terminology, but the point is, you are to you may take several throws before you're able to actually get to that hole. They have different weighted frisbees, and a lot like golf in that regard. You don't always use the same golf club, depending on how far you are away from the hole. You don't always use the same frisbee.
Right.
Some people might already know about it, but if you've never played disc golf, don't worry, I haven't either. Like officially, I've just thrown it around a little bit just for fun, practicing.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Because they have it at, don't they have it at Barbersville Park, I think?
They have it at our local park too. Pretty big course.
Well, here's the football stadium. This is kind of cool. At the Marshall football stadium. Look at that. Pretty cool. And then there's a big sign over there that says Marshall Rises. Isn't that neat? My aunt, she works in the financial aid office at Marshall University. And, well, she used to. She's retired, but she still works from home. And, anyways, we used to go to the games. She would get us free tickets to go. It'd be so fun. Like, just to sit in the stadium and watch the football game and just hear the crowd going wild and the cheerleaders and the band and all that fun stuff. I love going to games. I told Chad I want to go to the basketball games coming up this fall. The Marshall basketball team is really good, and it's so fun. I used to play basketball in high school, so I really love going to the games. It's so fun.
And tell them a little bit about that Marshall Rises sign.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear terms like that a lot with Marshall because of tragedy that happened back in the 70s. There was an actual movie about it. It stars Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the story is the true story of the Marshall University football team and their supporters coming back from the Carolinas on an airplane. And our local airport, they were just outside of it. They crashed and several perished. 76, I believe, to be exact. 76 people aboard that aircraft perished.
That was awful. So
it's something that Marshall tries to honor those folks a lot, and term like Marshall Rises, you know, basically coming back from the ashes of that tragedy.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to go pick up Chipotle.
Okay, we're outside of Chipotle. There's the sign. There's Chad. Get the meal. Dash for someone. We're always very careful not to touch anything where people, you know, like the drinks, a lot of times they don't put the straw in or anything, so we always grab it, try to grab it from the bottom, not the top, that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of stuff you gotta, you know, try not to make sure, because I have long hair, I always make sure my hair didn't get like in the bag or, you know, anything weird. Here comes Chad. It'll take long. Literally like 30 seconds. Sometimes you have to wait. Occasionally it's not ready for you, so that kind of sucks when you have to wait.
This delivery says 6.9 miles. It says it's going to take us 17 minutes. I think we can beat that.
Oh yeah?
Without trying to draw fast necessarily. Just trying to take smart routes.
Right.
Avoid all of the traffic lights that we possibly can.
Yeah, he always goes down the alleys. So it's a little bumpy sometimes. There's a lot of really some cool history through Huntington. A lot of the back alley roads are brick. They never took them up because they wanted to keep that you know, history about the place.
This guy was practicing knife throwing there on our left. That's what was happening. He had a knife.
I saw him.
And he was trying to throw it into the ground.
Yeah.
He's 20-something. Dude, that's like a middle school activity.
Yeah, what are you, 12? That's funny. Right. The good thing is I'm videoing, so if somebody hits us or something, I got it on camera. Which way are you turning?
Probably turn to the left here.
I always try to help Chad, like, you know, make sure nobody's coming and things like that. Like, sometimes he's looking at the phone, or sometimes people just pull out. They're crazy down here. There's a lot of drug heads and stuff, you know, in a town sometimes that don't drive well. See the brick roads? Look at that. They're everywhere in Huntington. It's crazy. But I think it's cool though. I love seeing the original brick road. It just reminds me of, you know, where we came from, and just, I don't know, the history of it. It's just cool. I love
Another
it.
little tidbit. My dad is 87, just turned 87 this month of August. And he lost his dad whenever he was 14 to tuberculosis. People call it TB. Not something a lot of people even know about these days. It's a lung disease that kind of ravaged the United States back in, I guess, the 40s. And even beyond that, I guess. But anyhow, my point is, that grandpa, whom I never met, laid a lot of the brick streets in Huntington. Because before that, they were still dirt, mud streets.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
So that's a pretty neat history, or a pretty neat tie that I have to that history of Huntington.
That's very cool.
And my family came from about 25-30 minutes south of here, in a place, in a county called Lincoln County in West Virginia. We're kind of coal country. There was some coal mines in Lincoln County, but we're kind of on the cusp of the coal area.
Cool. Yeah, we used to live out in the boonies, about 20 minutes from everything. And even like from the nearest Walmart, because we lived out in the hills, the rolling hills. Oh, look at this little house. Cute. It's like a little dollhouse.
That's La Familia.
Oh, yeah.
A little Italian restaurant.
Yeah, called La Familia. It's owned by, fun fact, it's owned by Chad's old boss's brother, which is kind of cool. But we lived out in Lincoln County, and what was I going to say about that? I totally forgot now.
Sorry. catch up.
That's okay.
Another nice building that they had turned into a dentist office at one time, I believe.
Yeah, look at that.
Not sure what it is now.
Back up here.
So they're cleaning out the back of it there. There's like some trash.
Mm-hmm.
Just be apartments.
Probably. I'm sure they made it in apartments because it's huge. It's a huge building.
Oh, to our left here, this is a...
Hold on. Let me pause you for just a second. I gotta do this.